required for anyone learning how to program, and especially computer science, GCSE, AQA, and other boards. Okay, now before we go on to string handling, we need to understand a few basic concepts, variables and data types. So here we have A equals 12, B equals 99.23, C equals apples, and D equals 1st of January 2099. Now A equals 12, A, B, C, and D are all variables, and they have different data types. So A equals 12, so 12 is an integer, a whole number. B is a real number or a float, which is 99.23. And C is apples, and apples is a string, which is a group of characters. Remember, a string is a group of characters, and the convention is that strings are in quotation marks, and D is date. Just for the sake of completeness, I put D, date. And so make sure you understand what these data types are about. Now, so here we have some data variables. A equals bananas, and bananas is a string. It's in quotation marks. Now we've got B equals 2. Is that a string or is that an integer? It's a string because it's in quotation marks. And C equals 2. And 2 is what? A string or an integer? It's an integer. So therefore, B equals 2 is a string. It's in quotation marks. But C equals 2 is an integer because it's not in quotation marks. It's very important to realize that. So the contents of A are treated as a string. The contents of B are treated as a string. Now, if the contents of B are treated as a string, it means you cannot perform any arithmetic operations on B, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. But can you perform arithmetic operations on C? Well, yes, because it's treated as an integer, a number. So it means you can perform arithmetic operations on C, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's look at string handling operations. Now, these concepts that I've spoken about will become more apparent if we look at some string handling operations. You know, the significance of treating something as an integer or a string. Now, if I run, so I've got some programs here, and I'm going to comment this out here. Now, if I run this, okay, please enter a number 4. Please enter a number 8. And it's printed 48 here. What's actually happening? So what's happening here, and oh gosh, bear with us. Right, this is print display example of concatenation of strings. So you've got example of concatenation of strings. Num1 equal input, please enter first number. So I've entered 4 here. Num2 equals input, please enter second number. So we've entered 8. It says total equals num1 plus num2 and print total, and it's printed 48 or 48. Print, this means new line. So what it's done, num1, when you've typed in the number or the character 4, it's treated it as a string. It's treated 8 as a string, And so this plus sign here is a concatenation. It's put 4 and then 8, and it's printed 4, 8. So it doesn't treat them as numbers, but it treats them as strings. So when you kind of can have this plus operator there, it prints 4 and then 8. Let's see, it will become more apparent if I now comment this out, and let's have a look at this, the output of this program here. Enter first number 4, enter second number 8, and 4 plus 8 is 12. So what's happened here? Okay, what's happened here? Okay, so print example of converting strings to integer. Example of converting strings to integer. Please enter, what's that? Num1 equals int input. Please enter first number. And we've entered 4. And the int means, first of, if you enter 4, the computer treats the 4 as a string. But int there converts that string to an integer. Okay, so now num1 is known as an integer to the computer. Similarly, when you type in 8, if you just had the phrase input, please enter second number, the computer would treat it as a string. But because you've got that phrase int, the computer knows that what you've typed in is an integer, a number. So num2 is a number. So when you say total equals num1 plus num2, it knows now 4 is a number, 8 is a number, and to add them to form 12, and it prints out 12. I hope that is clear. Okay, so now let's have a look at this last little program, which converts strings to numbers, to float numbers. So if I type in the first number here, 1.2, 2.4, and it's added them. So what's happened here? Num1 equals float input. Please enter first number. So here I can enter a decimal. So if I just said input, please enter first number, the computer would treat it as a string. But because I've got the word float in front of it, it's converted that string to a sort of a decimal type of number. And num2, similarly, the same logic goes. So 2.4 is now treated as a decimal or a real number. And so when you say total equals num1 plus num2, it adds these two numbers. Oops, well, looks what it's done here. But anyway, it's added them. And it prints it. So these, the keyword like int, the keyword float, converts what you've entered, a string, to a number. Okay, so here, this is what we've been talking about, converting strings to numbers. So we've converted a string to an integer, converted a string to a float or a real number. We can go the other way round as well, converting numbers to strings, or converting, so that can be subdivided into converting integers to string or converting float to string. So let's have a look at that. So here, conversion of numbers to string. Let me run this. Right, what's it done here? A equals 1, 2, 3, print A. So it's printed here, 1, 2, 3. Now, the string conversion is Okay, B equals str123. So it's A equals 1, 2, 3, and it sort of assumes that A has a number there. But if we put the keyword str123, so that is converting a number to a string. So B is a string. And if I say print B, it prints 1, 2, 3. Now what we can do with strings is that we can apply certain kind of operations or methods to it or inbuilt functions, and we can find the length of a string. So len b means what's the length of this string. The length is 3. So we can say print A has, len b will be 3 digits. So A has 3 digits. So converting it to a string means we can use string kind of operations or inbuilt functions such as len. Now if we look here, C equals 3.14. So C is a real number. D equals strc. So now D is a string. So if I say total equals B plus D, what here, B is a string, D is a string, so we are concatenating. So B is 1, 2, 3, D is 3.14, so we should get 1, 2, 3, 3.14 as one kind of string when we print the total. Okay, so let's go on to string manipulation. So if you have a string, you can manipulate it. You can find the length of a string. So if A equals hello world, len A. So len A would equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 characters in this string. String concatenation. B equals hello Donald Duck. So C equals A plus B. Print C. So you'd get hello world from A, then you get hello Donald Duck. Or you could find the position of a character in a string. Bear in mind these are only subsets of what you can do with strings. Position A, H. So find where H is located in A. Well, it's position 1. So it evaluates to 1. You can convert a string to uppercase. So maybe you could say A dot upper and hello world. It's all in uppercase. Hello world. Convert a string to lowercase. A dot lower. Hello world is all in lowercase. Or you can replace items in a string. A dot replace. Wherever there's a LL, replace it with RR. So you get hello world. And then to get a substring, a part of the string, substring. Substring, chocolate, 1, 3. It's the first 3 of the CHO. So that's string manipulation. Now here, the string manipulation is done in pseudocode. Perhaps we can show you some commands in Python which relate to string manipulation. Now, if I go to okay, maybe I need to open a file here, string manipulation there. Right, so here, print, finding the length of a string. A equals hello world, print A, length equals len A, print length, print new line. So that is for the length. For the substring, displaying a substring, B equals A02, so you're starting counting from Python. Actually, what I'll do is I'll run it. Let me run this. It makes more sense. Right, now that I've run it, and we can see the output, and perhaps we can compare the output and the strings. So here, and please bear with me, This is so difficult to do. Oh, perhaps it isn't. Perhaps it's just me. Right. Print. Finding a length of a string. A equals hello world. Print A. So finding a length of a string. Printed there. Print A. Print hello world. Length equals len A. Print length. It's 11 characters. So print L. 11. So new line. Print displaying a substring. Displaying a substring. B equals A0 colon 2. So start with the 0 character, because Python is a 0-based language, H, and display 2 characters along, HE. Finding the position of a character in a string. C equals A dot find W, print C. So you should get W is position 6. Concatenation, A D equals hello Donald Duck, E equals A plus D, print E. So you get hello world, hello Donald Duck. Replacing a string here. Replacing a string. So here we get A dot replace, hello replaced by goodbye, print F. So print goodbye world. Hello is replaced by goodbye. Uppercase conversion, A dot upper, C uppercase, lowercase, A dot lower, C lowercase. Right, now we have here 2 other things which are string manipulation. Remember, every character has an ASCII code. So if you're A, if I say character to code, A is your character. If I want the code, the ASCII value is 65. And remember, similarly, you can go the other way round. So what's the character related to ASCII value 90? I have code to character, that will be Z. Now here, oh dear. Okay, so here, if I go down here, finding the ASCII value of a character, I is equal to A, J is equal to odd I, so that will find the ASCII value here. And see, the ASCII value is 65, and K is equal to 90, L is equal to CHR, not K, so that will find the actual character value. And so that is 90. So here we have discussed string handling and string manipulation, and that is all.